Hello there, Jets fans. Welcome to episode number 56 of the JetStream podcast. I am Travis Ruminik. Today is December 28th, and I'm here with Joe Clark and Neil Noonan. Hope you guys had a happy holiday season. It's been a heck of a busy week. I've done a lot of driving, a lot of family things, and whatnot. Any great presents you guys received at all?
I got a French press that's like bigger than my head.
Oh, no way.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. It's like that big. It's huge.
That's so nice.
If you want to see how big it was, you should probably get it on YouTube.
Yeah, you should.
Check out Joe's hand gesture.
My hand gestures, that kind of exaggerated, but it's massive. It is bigger than my head. Like, maybe not volume, but like height.
That's so
sweet.
nice.
It's a lot of enjoyment.
Oh yeah,
there.
so
What
much.
about you, Neil?
I got slippers, which are amazing.
Yeah, those things look super
I thought
comfortable.
it was like, I really noticed it this year more than most, but I felt that like, you know how Christmas back in the day was like getting toys, things that you can like play with and stuff like that. And nowadays Christmas is always like restocking shit you need.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like nice underwear and socks.
Yeah.
and,
I got like
other
3 or
things.
4 packages of socks. And I
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
for sure.
sweet.
But you need these things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So like it's
Yes.
hilarious how it's just kind of a
Changes, man.
restocking thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, tons of clothes and stuff like that, and like a new toothbrush and just shit you need, but you've never buy yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want to spend the money on because you're like,
Let's wait till
I can
Christmas.
get by.
Yeah, exactly. And then Christmas comes once a year, and then you get the everything back.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I got a bunch of books.
Mhm.
And,
Yeah.
I always talk about books on Christmas too.
my parents know that I'm planning on moving out soon, so Joe and I guess, combined I got a bunch of stuff for when we do move
Appliances.
out. I got a toaster oven just in case we need both, a coffee maker, and a shitload of Tupperware.
Yeah, so you're on your way out.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
This guy's
So-
got like a whole kitchen worth of appliances in his room right
Yeah,
now.
no, it's just sitting in boxes. So it's
Yeah.
not stuff I'm ever going to touch until we get out of there.
All
But
you need
when
is
I do
a-
move out, it's like, all right, I just saved like $150, $200 on
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
equipment.
Yeah, exactly.
All you need is a trip to IKEA now, and you're all
Yeah,
set.
exactly. Get a couple do-it-yourself chairs and a table, and you're good to go.
Exactly. It's perfect. Little chairs just like the ones we're sitting on right
Yeah,
now would
some
probably
fold-
do for us. So
Are those
chairs.
IKEA chairs?
These
I
are
don't know.
Superstore.
Because everyone has them.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
no, I
these
have
are-
one of these in my room.
These
Yeah.
are from either Superstore or Costco because I have like 5 at my house.
Yeah,
I bet
yeah.
it's Costco because
Yeah.
that's
They're
generally
like
where my
the
parents buy a
go-to
lot of
fold-out.
things.
They are, yeah. And you know what?
And
They're
they're so
nice.
comfy,
They're
and it's
perfectly
like-
good.
Yeah.
Perfectly good chairs.
Except for I have a really bad habit.
Just
not
model this
here.
for the people that are watching on the TV.
Yeah, if
See
you
this.
have one, let us
If
know.
you have
Hashtag
one,
JetStream.
yeah.
Go on YouTube if you're on the bus right now.
Yeah,
like-
yeah, exactly. Whenever I'm at home, I have a really bad tendency, like it's my computer chair, to sit like right on the front of it. And after like a year and a half of only sitting right near I slouch like crazy, so all my weight's right on the very front of the seat. So it always ends up like not sitting how it's supposed to and slanted down.
Oh.
So and eventually just completely useless. But you know what? Last year and a half of me using it improperly, so I'll take it.
Good enough.
We got a lot to talk about today. The New Jersey Devils have fired their head coach and have an interesting coaching structure that I actually want to hear a lot of Neil's opinion on because,
I was just
coaching
going to say
things.
that's news to me, but
Yeah.
I knew Edmonton's guy got axed, but
We came up with some New Year's resolutions for the Jets, for Chevy, some regret talk. We had you guys give us a lot of good feedback on that as well, so we'll get to some of that. And then we figure that'll take a lot of time, so we'll talk about the things we learned this week. I hope Joe's got a great team of the week and is
Yes, I
telling
do.
me. I think he's good on that stuff.
I do have that.
So we have that to do, but first thing we're going to talk about, hopefully it won't take too long because it's been a dead horse that we keep beating with the same stick. Michael Hutchinson got the start against Minnesota yesterday, which for the first time in a little over a month was a time where we didn't see this typical Hutch-Pav rotation. Now Hutchinson started 2 games in a row. He started the game before the Christmas break against Chicago and played fantastic. And then he played last night against Minnesota. Let in a couple iffy goals, I thought, but got the win. Made a few big saves along the way, especially near the end of the first when Jets just seemed to give up 3-on-1s. Like they were. It was Christmas time, right? So they just gave them away a few times. It's all right.
Merry Christmas, Minnesota.
Exactly. And they still couldn't win. Stupid Wild. This likely means that Pavlik's getting started against Minnesota on Monday when they play again, and I would assume that means Hutchinson's getting the start against New York or the Islanders, who Joe and I are going to go see
We are going to be at that game.
on Wednesday. Obviously, this is getting played down a lot by Paul Maurice. He used the excuse of Hutch is used to playing in these situations of having a little bit of a break before games, which I would assume would naturally mean you give him the longer break if that's the case. So it's being really downplayed by the Jets, but do you think it really means anything that Hutch got those 2 starts in what, in my opinion, sets him up to play the harder games
Yeah.
throughout this on the road against the better teams. Against the Islanders on New Year's Eve, the marquee matchups. You needed that first win against Minnesota. Does that mean something, you think? Or
I think it would mean
overhyping?
more if it wasn't over like an awkward period where there's a longer break than there normally is.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you don't usually get a break that long, like the Christmas time there in the regular season. So it kind of makes things awkward, right? And it makes you wonder, what the rationale is of who starts after that. So I think there's a lot of things that come into play, like in Paul Maurice's mind. I'm sure he's thinking, okay, who am I going to trust coming off of a few days, 3 days rest?
See, but that's where I think it does mean something, because when you ask, who am I going to trust?
Yeah.
The answer should be the guy
Your
starter in quotes.
Yeah.
And Stephen Birch, I think is how you say his last name on Twitter, generally a Leaf guy, but is a general analytics blogger. He's actually a math and physics teacher, so it's always interesting hearing his opinion. He was kind of talking about how the word starter is often misused. We don't know a lot about Hutch, and I think even if he's playing more games, it's hard to call him a starter because he hasn't played much at all.
Yeah.
But for the Jets, yeah, you would consider your better goaltender to be the guy you trust, the guy you're going to be... Let's put it this way. If you're playing Hutchinson in these situations, the situations where it's a tougher game, or they got to come back or something, or there's a chance your team's not playing well, the games would really seem to mean something in that general consensus. Doesn't that necessarily mean he'd be the one you go to in the playoffs?
We'd have to wait and see. Probably.
Stop being so uncontroversial, Joe Clark.
You're on a podcast.
Yeah.
You have to have an opinion.
But yeah, like you have to admit, like if it's the guy you trust, it's the guy you trust, right?
Yeah, but I think they've also shown that they have still trust in Pavlik, and they are never going to say that they don't.
Which is stupid.
Yeah.
Oops, my bad. I'm playing with things. I've always wondered that how do teams like kind of like when they distinguish a captain with the C, do they ever do that with goalies? Like, you're our starter, or do teams like do half and half, and like it's okay that no one's designated the starter?
See, it's interesting because usually there's a perception that you should have a guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your guy. And that's generally how it is. I mean, you think New York Rangers, Henrik Lundqvist. New Jersey Devils, Corey Schneider. Well, it used to be Martin Brodeur, but now it's Corey Schneider. When you think of those upper echelon teams, you have a defined starter and defined backup, if that's always the right choice. Like, I would argue Marc-Andre Fleury has been given that defined starter role, obviously, in Pittsburgh, but I don't think he really should have it at this point. I think they've put a lot of unnecessary or unproven faith in Marc-Andre Fleury, but he's still their guy, right? But then even in teams like Toronto, where they keep saying, or they've said over and over again, we have a 1A, 1B situation. Eventually, it always works out that one guy gets the starts. Like Bernier gets all the starts. Reimer at this point is the backup, despite what Reimer's done for them in the past. And I think that only works for so long before the backup says, okay, well, if I'm not going to be playing full-time minutes here, or I'm not 1B, I'm not getting all the time, I'm going somewhere else where I'm going to have that opportunity.
I've never really seen a 1A, 1B situation work out for more than a month or 2 months or something like that.
Well, I don't know, because for a long time, Luongo and Schneider worked in Vancouver. Until,
that's true.
Like, there was always those rumors swirling,
yeah.
But they won a lot of awards together, and they were a great tandem. But then you kind of come into that talk that I don't really like getting into, but it is a factor. I'm not going to say it's not a factor of the constant media swirling. Is like, well, who's the one?
Yeah, exactly.
Who's the guy?
And that
it's an unnecessary.
And I think that's why Schneider and Luongo worked well in that situation, because those are two guys, or especially Luongo, we know is he just doesn't care.
Yeah,
like he just does not care about what the media says. Like he gives them ammunition. Like he
went on TSN and made jokes, little sequences. About
exactly
it,
right. So like that, I think that is what helped keep that situation alive for as long as it was there, and how they had success. Because those talks are always going to be there if you're in that situation, and if you have two guys who have an understanding like that, then you can make it work.
And personally, I know I hate on Andre Pavlik, but I don't see him as somebody who would be okay with that situation occurring. You know, like just from the way he reacts to goals on the ice and stuff like that, he seems like a guy who needs to be in the this is my role mindset, and otherwise is a little like, well, he's iffy as it is a lot of the time on the ice. But I just don't see him as a kind of guy. And again, I don't know him personally. I'm not trying to trash his character at all here, but I just don't see, again, that working out. Even in Vancouver, I've said again like 6 times in that sense. Even in Vancouver, that only worked for so long before something had to happen, and then they just really screwed up and lost both of them.
Yeah.
So as nice as the idea of a 1A, 1B situation is, eventually either teammates are going to get frustrated, and it leads that opportunity for a divide in the locker room, right? Some guys want this guy to be the starter, some guys like this guy more, and I just feel like it creates an unnecessary drama.
Yeah.
That, as an outsider, when you have two goalies playing well, it's great. Fine, whatever, it's my team. I'll have both guys going. That's awesome. But
no, and you hear it all the time in those situations where, it's a good problem to have that we have two good goalies going.
And I think short term, it's great.
Yeah.
But I think eventually you need to define those roles.
Mm-hmm.
And even if both guys are playing well, and Pavlik, his numbers are okay this year. They're up on his best of the best he's ever done. But I just don't know how long that's going to stick around for him. And he's not Hutchinson has very, very clearly been the better goaltender in this second. And since they started splitting starts, Garrett tweeted it out. I wish I had thought to pull this up earlier, but he tweeted out their numbers from that split. And they're astonishingly different. And Hutchinson is far and away been better in that stretch. And I just don't know how much longer you can ignore it. And I don't want to think it's a contract thing. But when you're paying a guy $3 million and you've locked into him, it's hard for that not to creep into your mindset, especially with a team that's cap conscious. Cap conscious. That's the word I was looking for. Like, they have their internal cap. This is what they're spending to. And it's hard for them to just ignore that they're paying this guy so much money, right?
Yeah.
And plus, there's in a goaltending a lot of confidence and momentum and stuff like that as well.
It seems that way.
Because if I'm a 1A and I have a 1B looking at me all the time, and I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm going to start tonight, I'm not sure if I'm going to be starting here next year kind of thing, then when I'm in net, my confidence isn't as high as it could be necessarily.
Yeah. And that's always the talk, is like, well, it's nice to have this internal competition, but, to what extent?
Well, exactly. It seems to be one of those things that always plays to what's going on at the moment,
exactly.
Because you hear them saying, oh, it's nice to have that back, we can go to either guy.
When they're winning games.
Yeah, exactly. And then they start losing it. It's like, well, it's really nice to have that confidence that you're the guy of the team and all that kind of stuff.
So maybe this is creeping into their minds. So, it depends.
Well, yeah, and I think it creeps into the players' minds a little bit, too. Like, I feel like they have to watch what they say all the time. Because, like, just earlier today it was tweeted out that Blake Wheeler said, we're lucky to have him between the pipes.
It was already getting twisted around by everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, every time they talk about either goaltender, everything's going to be twisted and scrutinized and looked at. And I don't think that's really fair to either guy. I think it's a lot easier to just come in and say, this is the situation. Being in that position myself, I feel like, first of all, your goalie can produce confidence for the team and allow you to feel a lot more secure in what you're doing and able to take a few more risks.
Yep.
And when you know that if you make a mistake, it's not ending up in the back of your net and you're going to be scrutinized, I feel like that gives you that chance to kind of play smarter. And when you're up by only a goal, you're willing to take that little bit of an extra risk to take the puck out and make yourself look good. Because you know that, I might screw this up and I might end up at a shot on net, but I feel like there's a better chance of that puck being saved. But when it comes down to the goalies themselves, like, goalies are always talked about as voodoo players and just these weird mental cases, that they're very weird guys. So I feel like adding that extra variable into the whole mix of what their weird mentality is like just adds on top of that stress and pressure. I managed to pull up these numbers that Garrett had.
Oh, wow, you're impressive. When you said that, I went to Garrett's Twitter, and then I started looking at his photos, and they're all Corsi.
I knew exactly what it looked like, so I knew what to look for.
I didn't understand a thing, Garrett. I'm sorry.
Okay, so since they started splitting games, that's since November 23rd. Save percentage-wise, Pavlik's at an 896. Hutchinson's at a 941.
Wow.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah, that's massive.
Adjusted save percentage, again, I'm not exactly sure how they adjust it. I think it's for teams you're playing against and stuff like that. Pavlik's at a 903. Hutchinson's at 936. Quality starts, which I can't remember the criteria for quality starts, but it's like you keep X amount of pucks per shot attempt against and keeping your team in the game and stuff like that. Garrett, if you are when you listen to this, yell at me what quality starts are. I can look it up, but I'm not doing that right now. Pavlik's at a 42.8% quality start, or 42.86% quality starts. Hutchinson's at an 85.71.
Wow.
Shots against per 60, Pavlik sees 24.6. Hutch has seen 31.5. Regulation wins, Hutch has 5, Pav has 2. Again, I don't like win totals as a measurement of a player. Pavlik has 1 overtime/shutout win. Hutch has 0. They each have 1 loss. Pavlik has 3 overtime shootout losses. Hutch has 1 overtime shootout loss. So there's some pretty staggering differences in the numbers, and it's hard to just keep ignoring that. So do something about it, boys.
He is the highest save percentage in the NHL right now.
Yeah,
Hutchinson.
He legit could. If Hutch was playing more games, he would be in the race for the Calder Trophy at this point. Yeah, Philip Forsberg's having a hell of a year.
Yes.
But when you have a goalie step in and be one of the biggest reasons that, and again, team defense and Pomo's made a big contribution to this as well. But when you're one of the biggest reasons that this team is going to win, it's hard to ignore that as a Calder candidate.
You can't.
Like, he's in the racing for. If he was playing more games, he'd be in the race for the Vezina, for Christ's sake.
Well, exactly. That's it. So he needs to get. If they carve out him as the guy who's getting more games, and use whatever word you want for it, starter, 1A, 1B, whatever.
Yeah.
If he's getting more games and he gets 40 something games or something like that by the end of the season, and he still has these numbers, you got to consider him.
Oh yeah, for sure. What's that other award called?
Which one?
The award for you play 25 games or more and the highest save percentage in the league.
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh my gosh.
I've never even heard of that.
Corey Schneider and Luongo split it a couple years ago. The William Jennings.
Okay.
That's what it's called. The William M. Jennings Trophy. It's awarded to the goalkeeper who has a minimum of 25 games for a team with the fewest goals scored against it. So I don't know if he's actually the race for that or not. But yeah, he's in there. So I don't know. It's just Hutch is making a hard case for them not to at least
good, and that's what he needs.
2-for-1 split to start.
That's what he needs to do. So
be patient with it. I'm not saying make him a starter right now and don't let Pavic play for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
but you need to start making the decisions that you need to make. Moving on from that, we're going to talk about the New Jersey Devils a little bit here.
Okay,
they fired Peter DeBoer.
DeBoer,
I think
is how I've heard it said.
On a nice Christmas present from him on Boxing Day.
Yeah, Boxing Day got fired.
I don't really think it's completely
Yeah.
fair considering how old the team is and how well he's seemed to manage losing a lot for nothing over the past few years. Guys like Kovalchuk, Suter, Parise, whatever. And I guess you can throw David Clarkson in that mix. He's an important player for the Devils at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But what's really interesting about this coaching change is their new coaching structure. So, Neil, I'm going to get your opinion a lot on this. Joe, whatever you think you can add into this, do it as well. Just, I know Neil's coaching right now, and I want to kind of the NHL and the NBA, or I guess you could say hockey and basketball have very similar coaching styles, where there's the head coach who makes a lot of the personnel decisions, a lot of line decisions. Then you usually have your assistants that help out with other things, but you're ultimately making them. You'll obviously converse, and you're not going to have a dictatorship as a head coach, but you're the guy, right? You make
the call, yeah.
Whereas now the Devils are kind of going something we haven't seen in hockey before, and it's almost like an NFL coaching style, where Adam Oates is going to be taking over as the forwards coach.
Okay.
Scott Stevens is taking over as the defense coach, and now GM Lou Lamoriello, I think, is acting as like a bench coach. I don't really know what that means. It's going to be like in minor hockey where he opens the door and helps shuffle the kids through your turn to go out, boys. You guys come in and that kind of stuff. Or if he's just going to kind of be the overseer of what happens, but he's going to be on the bench.
Interesting. This could be a crowded bench.
Oh, exactly. So I'm going to ask just straight out, could this work?
Or
is it going to be one of those two
Hey man,
cooks
you know
in
what?
the kitchen?
I'm all for mixing it up. You know what? Like if you're having trouble, if they were having trouble before and they were struggling, why not try something different? If it doesn't work, I doubt it, and I might eat my words on this, but I doubt they're going to be worse. So
yeah,
why not?
That's true.
Why not try it? If it works, you could start a new trend. Who knows?
Like Neil, if you were in the situation you are right now, and you were coaching, or you had a reputation in your entire career, you've coached as a basketball, you're a head coach. This is what you do. You know what your duties are as a head coach. Usually, you have your say. You come in. You're going to change. You're going to have the system set up your way. But now you've agreed to come to a team and know you're only in charge of, like, let's say, your point guard and your shooting guard. And you have another guy in charge of your 4 and 5 position. So you're in charge of 1, 2s, and 3s, and someone else in charge of your posts. Isn't that going to kind of... I feel like as a head coach, I'm kind of mess with your dynamic a little bit. Like, there needs to be so much... And as much as communication is a big thing in any coaching situation,
yes,
when you don't have one guy teaching the the collective unit, I feel like that just leaves a lot more opportunities for mistakes to happen, or miscommunications, or just even a basic misunderstanding of what you want to happen. And then, yeah, in this situation, you know who you're going to. Like, the defensemen are going to report, I guess, to Scott Stevens, and you're responsible to doing what he wants. But what's your relationship then going to be with your other head coach? Like, if he tells you to do something, and they conflict, or something's not right there, I just feel like, don't you feel like that'd be a lot more chance for error along the way?
100%. I agree with you totally. I think there needs to be one guy at the top. There needs to be a head coach to give direction to the entire team.
Yeah.
Because just like you're saying, if I'm a defenseman, who I'm looking to my defensive coach, sure, but who's directing the entire team? Because like the defense and offense, they play on the same ice.
Yeah.
Like, right?
Whereas
like
in football,
forwards.
your offense is on the field at one time, your defense is on the field at one time,
Right.
your special teams is on the field
Which
at one
is
time.
a little different because there's different phases to the game, right? So I like for hockey, basketball, and stuff like this, I feel like there needs to be one person that directs the entire team and puts it in one direction, because then it's just leaving it up to, just like you said, things could go wrong. Communication is going to be huge for this to make it work.
Everybody's got to be on the same page if this is going to work out.
Right. But I'm absolutely a firm believer that there needs to be one guy at the top that everyone needs to look to. There needs to be the leader of like the entire team.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that's the situation where Lou Lamoriello being on the bench as the bench coach is doing that. But at the same time, now you're kind of that bench guy, but you're also the GM. I've never really liked that. I feel like there's way too much.
You need to separate the two.
Yeah, there's too much then. It's like you're taking out too much of a task, because now you're dealing with all the other GMs and trying to make trades and responsible for all the stuff that's going on.
Plus, you're dealing with on a personal level.
Exactly. Now you have to be at that personal level with guys, and I feel like that could interfere with your contract discussions. I don't like those combos. The same thing when a guy's a GM and president. I feel like there's way too much for you to do there, and you can't do one. It's almost like you're only doing both jobs half-assed. You're not doing your job perfectly.
Exactly. That's happening a lot in the NBA right now, where a lot of head coaches are getting the GM/team president role. And you can tell by their roster compositions that a lot of them are falling by the wayside. Yeah. Like Doc Rivers out in LA, he's the GM and the head coach. He's a great head coach, but all his acquisitions in the past year and a bit have been awful.
Yeah. Well, it's just, I just feel like you can't give the time that's necessary. I feel like it almost undermines each position when you just tack it on. And as much as a head coach might want to be a GM, fine, then don't be the head coach anymore. Because you always feel like, as a head coach, you need to be, even in any sport, you need to be watching film and doing this and doing that. And yeah, maybe in this situation, you're cutting back all of that workload, since now you don't have to worry about the defensemen as much. You just focus on your forwards and figure out what they can do and stuff like that. But when you start tacking on too much, you're not spending as much time in the film room. You're not spending as much time with your players. You're not spending enough time talking to all the GMs and finding out what's going on, or what trade rumors could possibly be out there and stuff like that, or wheeling and dealing. And when you start taking away too much, I feel like that's when you start micromanaging. And now maybe Adam Oates is going to spend so much time with the forwards that he loses touch with, and again, these guys are professionals, they're good at what they do, but I feel like he might lose touch to what the defensemen are seeing out there and what their responsibilities are. And you're going to have separate meetings from your forwards, from being with your forwards to being with your defensive coach. You're not going to hear from the defensemen as often directly from what they're seeing on the ice. It's going to be playing that telephone game as a kid. Defenseman tells you tell somebody that I tell you something, you tell me something, he tells me something.
And it comes out the other end completely different.
Exactly. Something can get lost in translation. Yeah. So if a defenseman now is supposed to report to Scott Stevens, he tells Scott Stevens what he thinks. Scott Stevens got to take it to Adam Oates, and then Adam Oates and Scott Stevens meet with Lou Lamoriello. How much of what that defenseman is seeing is really getting addressed after all of those steps? And yes, these guys are professionals. They need to do their job. And I'm not going to sit here and think that a defenseman is not going to go up to Adam Oates and say, this is my thoughts on this at any point in time. But it's risky. And I mean, good for you. You're taking a shot. This is something new. Maybe it works out great. Maybe I end up sounding like an idiot. It happens all the time.
Love it.
I just feel like it's almost like they were like, I don't really want to make a decision, so I'm going to hire everybody. And then we're going to try this.
Hire everybody.
So
survival of the fittest.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoever all the players like most, then the other guy gets fired.
It'll be interesting to see. I hope in a way it works out, I guess. Like, I'd like to see if it does. It's going to be an interesting experiment. And if things completely fall apart, New Jersey will.
You know what? It's interesting because as soon as I heard about the coaching change, I immediately thought of picking up Corey Schneider in one of my other leagues because of all the data that's out there of how teams perform after a coaching change. I was like, awesome, I might be able to get some solid goaltending for maybe a week or two, right? That's what I was thinking. And then I was like, wait, this is weird. I don't know if this is going to be like it normally is when coaches get swapped around. So I'm waiting. I'm going to feel this one out because I don't know.
Does Corey Schneider not get a special coach too? They
Yeah,
just hire
exactly.
Forwards coach, defense coach. Fuck the goalies.
Yeah. Corey Schneider.
He plays all the games anyways. Who cares?
Yeah, he doesn't need to be coached.
It's a weird dynamic because they have new guys that are up in the press box now. It's really interesting to see. So I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Watch the New Jersey Devils performance in the next few weeks, coming months.
Watch the game.
Should be interesting.
All right. Speaking of interesting,
sure.
We have some interesting things we're gonna get to.
Okay.
New Year's resolutions.
Oh yeah.
It's New Year this week. Not sure what I'm doing yet, but there will likely be alcohol. Well, Joe and I are going to the Jets game in the afternoon.
Yeah.
But there will likely be
it's a
alcohol
4 o'clock game.
If you're going to that game, let us know.
Couple $9 beers here and there.
We're gonna pregame. Actually, we might have to drive.
No, we can't pregame because I'm going to be at work.
Oh yeah, you're the worst. Actually, never mind. Your work is why we're going. So
yeah.
What we're gonna do here, Joe, Neal, and I have come up with some resolutions for the Jets, and we're gonna have 3 that are kind of just Jets general. So it could be a player, it could be a coach, it could be anything we want to. Just pick. I told you guys each 5, but I think we're only gonna have time for 3 of those each.
Okay.
We're gonna have a resolution for Shovel Day Off.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna talk about what we think and what you guys thought and what you tweeted in on us. The biggest regret the Jets should have from 2014. Then we'll also have a resolution for the NHL as a whole, and a resolution for another NHL team. Understood? Not too confusing?
I understand.
We will take baby steps along the way. If you weren't listening at all, we'll figure it out. So first things first, let's just go around the room and each share one and then explain why it is.
Share
So,
like a Jets player.
a Jets specific, just whatever Jets one. So Joe, you can go first.
Sure.
Pick somebody. What's your resolution?
My New Year's resolution. My
It's a revolution.
yeah, my New Year's resolution is for Adam Lowry. I made one up for him, and for him it's to go a day without wearing a toque. Every picture I've seen of this guy since he's come to the NHL, and I'm sure it's been before this, he wears a toque in every single photo. Summertime, wintertime, doesn't matter. I just want to see one without.
Yeah, even yesterday when
Yep.
Don Cherry was making fun of them for being scrubs,
Yep.
He was wearing a toque.
Wearing a toque every time.
All right.
So there you go. There it is. It's a simple one. I think he can do it.
There you go, Adam.
I believe
Lowry.
in you, Adam.
Just one picture. Just
I
take a
didn't-
picture with one child without wearing a toque.
Yeah, and I didn't call you Kyle this time, so yeah.
Yeah, you've got Joe's got really bad at that. We were
Oh,
at
I was
the rink on
terrible.
Christmas Eve. He was like, "Oh yeah, Kyle Lowry." I was like, "Who?"
Yeah. It's Raptor Nation.
It is,
oh,
man.
I don't know why it does that sometimes.
All right, Neil. What's your first Jets resolution?
This one I hope most of you will agree with, but I need more past the mics.
Yes.
So,
I agree.
New Year's resolution for the NHL Jets, let's get maybe every like couple months. Like get
Call.
Trouba in there.
Screw it. One every 2 weeks.
Sure, I want to
Just
get
Trouba
Buff in
and
there.
Trouba and Scheifele.
Just
need
give
to
them their
be-
own show.
Yeah, they do. They need their own show, their own locker room show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love those. They're hilarious. They're I think the best thing that the Jets media team does.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I just want more of those.
All right.
So let's do that. Let's do it. Come on.
Perfect.
Pass the mic.
Okay, my first resolution for 2015 goes to Mark Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, just chill the fuck out. Mark Stewart, I know I hate on him a lot. Listen, people love Mark Stewart.
Yes, they do.
He seems like a really good guy. Seems like he's just a nice guy.
Just an overall good guy. Works
He's
hard.
a good Winnipeg guy at this point. Like he
Yeah.
wants to be here. People hate on him, and I understand why. But I think Mark Stewart just needs to chill out and realize the type of player he is, and if he is the kind of player that makes him. He just needs to relax with the attempts to make big plays. Every time the puck comes at him, he tries to lay out a huge hit.
Oh yeah.
Or he tries to break up a play.
And sometimes it works.
Very rarely it works. But more often than not, it leads to 2-on-1s,
Yeah.
and bad mistakes, and it's just stupid. I hate it.
Yeah.
So, Mark Stewart, your resolution for 2015 is to chill out relax, just make the smart play, stop being dumb.
It's stupid.
It is stupid.
New drop.
Yep.
Number 2, Joe Clark.
For Chevy?
Just Jets as a whole.
Oh, it's Jets.
One
as
of
a
your
whole.
5.
Okay, my one for the Jets coaching staff, who I believe are the ones making this decision, is keep Bufflin on defense. That's your resolution. No matter who comes back, make room.
No matter who comes back at all.
Correct. He is staying on defense.
Who do you want to see traded? Because someone's got to go.
You can get rid of like Party or Klitzum.
Well, Party I think you can send to the A.
Perfect. There you go.
So you can try that. But,
Yeah.
I mean, they're
honestly, like, I have no hate for those guys. They filled roles awesomely, and I'm happy that they've done
We'll
it.
round of
Yes.
applause for them for now.
Thank you very
I mean,
much.
they got some time left, but
But
One horn.
they are not Dustin Bufflin or Toby Enstrom or any of those guys or Zach Bogosian or whatever. So
or Jacob Trouba.
I would not be sad to see them go. But thank you for what you've done in the meantime.
All right. I think a lot of people would agree with you.
Yes.
Some might not, but go away. Just shut up.
Just be quiet.
You should be a defenseman. Man, it was great yesterday. I had
What?
family over, and they weren't stupid Jets fans.
Oh.
They were
Leaf fans?
No, they were Jets fans, but
Oh,
they
they-
were stupid.
oh.
Well, they
Jets
weren't
fans.
stupid. Oh.
They were
Oh,
like
I
saying
got
things,
you.
and I was like,
I agree with
I
you.
agree with you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Not to say I'm all knowing and intelligent, but I was like, well, one of them dropped trade Evander Kane, and I was like, hold on,
For what?
let me talk to you here.
Yeah.
And then they listened, and I was like, no one calls me an idiot.
Yeah.
This is weird.
Wow.
It's almost like real life isn't as aggressive as Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like when you have a conversation with someone face to face, you don't immediately revert to insults.
Yeah, it's weird,
Yeah.
right? Man, hockey Twitter this year was brutal. Like, it got vicious.
I know. Well,
Things were bad with the analytics debate, but man, shit got vicious quick. Like, it went very quickly from like, I don't agree with you and this is why, and analytics and this is why too. I don't agree with you, big fat fucking moron. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
yeah,
we
Travis, you're so obese.
Well, not I was just reading general
Yeah,
arguments.
I
It got
sit.
personal
Oh, I've
so
seen so many.
quick.
I just sit on the sidelines with my popcorn and enjoy it.
I'm with you, Joe.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I was listening to a ESPN's NBA Lockdown podcast, and they were telling a story about on Christmas Eve, there was some Twitter beef between this guy named Scotty Drippin, or Snotty Drippin, sorry, hilarious tag, and some other guy, and they were talking shit about basketball, about something. Who knows what it was? And this guy said, "You're in LA, right? I'm gonna come meet you, and we're gonna fight."
Yeah.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And this guy, for the next 45 minutes, is tweeting where he is. He's like, "Okay, we're meeting at this one stop." I forget where it was, regardless of the point. He's taking pictures, and then he gets to this one sign. He's like, "I'm here, man. I'm waiting for you. Waiting to fight." Just absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe it gets to that point.
Taking
for
it
some
to the
people.
next
Christmas
level.
Eve.
Yeah.
You took like an hour to drive somewhere in California.
You had
to go
nothing better
fight.
to do.
Exactly.
Yep.
Oh, my God. Jeez.
That's taking it to the next level.
Absolutely it is. Like, my goodness.
Man, when did all this hate? It must have all started from like those 14-year-old kids who used to play Halo and just yell racist remarks at each other.
Oh, great times.
Over
Great
classic.
times.
Xbox Live. Yeah, frick.
But as soon as the anonymity online happened, like where you can just, you don't have to
You can
be
be
you.
anybody.
There is no consequence.
There's no
Yeah.
consequence. You say whatever you want on that keyboard, and
Yeah. It's true.
nothing happens.
Makes people feel invincible.
It does. All right, Neil. Jets resolution number 2.
Jets resolution number 2 for me is I want Evander Kane to embrace this badass role. Completely 100%. I want him to go full badass. I want more pictures with money, more pictures with bitches. I want anything and everything. I want him to be the badass of the league and not give a fuck. I'm
Yes.
filling the swear jar right now because I want him to do the same. I don't want no half-ass apologies. I don't want him to try and pretend that he's a good guy. I want him to go full out. I want to see his full personality, embrace it, and take this league by storm.
Yes.
be the villain.
Do you have Instagram, Neil?
Yes.
Okay, can you go to Evander Kane's Instagram and put up the video that he posted the other day?
I can
It's
do that
literally
for
just
sure.
a slow-mo video.
Oh, yeah, I saw
Like,
that.
A 6-second slow-mo video of him like walking in a suit and then like pointing to somebody
be like,
and then
"Yo."
like walking away and like, oh, it's just perfect.
Did you guys see what he tweeted last night after the game?
No.
So, I don't know if you guys saw the overtime winner last night, but Andrew Ladd took a shot, and it hit the ice, or it didn't hit the ice. It hit the glass behind the net, bounced off the glass, hit the Minnesota Wild goalie in the back, and went in the net. That's how the Jets won the game.
Perfect.
His tweet after the game, See what happens when you miss the net. OT winner for @AndrewLadd. I was like, yes!
Oh, wow.
I love you, Evander. That is amazing.
That was a hell of a goal.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, it was great. Oh, I laughed so hard at that. I love Evander Kane so much.
He's like an all-out troll, eh?
Oh, he's the best.
He
He
is
definitely is doing it on purpose. It's official.
He is trolling
So
hard.
like I completely agree with Neil here. Embrace it, Evander. Be the villain.
Yeah, do it.
Just be the villain.
I can't get this Instagram video up.
Oh, no.
It's not letting me. It is hilarious, though.
You're seeing it on your phone?
Yeah,
it's great.
But
It's
see,
great.
that's what I like. Like,
Yeah.
just don't half-ass it.
Yeah.
Don't pretend
Just
you're a
do
nice guy here in Winnipeg. Like, just go full out, man. Because
Yeah.
I think people will like that as well.
Oh yeah, for as many people that hate him, there'll be just as many people probably outside of Winnipeg who love him. For
Yeah,
it.
and absolutely. So, similar to kind of, I mean, this is maybe not the best comparison, but when LeBron moved to the Heat, at first he wanted to prove or be happy and prove everybody that like everyone can still love him. But once he started embracing, like, hey, you guys all hate me for leaving.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the badass.
Forget it, yeah.
Boom, everything changed.
Yeah.
But when you're trying
And
to,
more
when you're
people
trying
just loved him because of it.
exactly when you're trying to please both sides, I think that's when people start hating more.
Yeah.
Just because like make up your mind. So Evander Kane, that's my resolution for 2015 for you.
Be the villain.
Embrace being the badass.
All right, on that, I have one for Evander Kane as well. It's a little bit different than Neil's. I want to agree, first of all, agree with you and they embrace the hate, be a badass off the ice. But I also want him to be smarter on the ice.
That's fair. You can do both.
I would think so.
You can do both.
As much as I love Evander Kane, the way he's playing for the most part, his Corsi rating's gone down a little bit again because he's playing tough minutes, and I understand that. But things like all the bad penalties he does take, occasionally he makes really dumb decisions with the puck, things like that. Tighten that up. Stop taking the bad penalties. Stop. I understand that you want to chirp refs. Tone that down a little bit. Or at least don't make it so flamboyant that they can't ignore you.
Yeah.
Tone it down on the ice a little bit. Be smarter. Make some better decisions. I like a lot of the decisions he makes. I think some of them are the appropriate level of risk for the situation, and he usually wins with them. He's a freaking hell of a player. He's fast. He's a good hockey player. Just be a little bit smarter on the ice. And I think more people would start enjoying his play because they don't see those stupid penalties and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's a lot of the argument that people have.
That's the one thing that I can't argue
Yeah.
against is that he is dumb on the ice sometimes.
Yeah, he
'Cause
does.
He is.
Silly
He does-
mistakes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So be a little bit smarter on the ice, Evander Kane. That was my thing for you.
Okay.
All right, number 3, the last one of the Jets resolutions. Joe.
Jets, you got him. You're gonna make Michael Hutchinson the starter, and he's gonna win the Calder.
Yeah, that's your decision, making the starter.
Yeah,
It's your
make him the
resolution.
starter. That's gonna be your resolution in the next 2 days. Make it happen, and then he'll prove to you by winning the Calder Trophy.
All right. I think we just had like a half-hour discussion as to why that is a good idea.
Yeah.
Very
Neil
fitting.
didn't-
For the last couple, I outsourced a little bit because I don't know as much Jet stuff as everybody else. So I took to Reddit as well as Twitter. So I'm going to read a few of the resolutions that our fans said. The New Year's resolution should be not take as many penalties.
There you
All
go.
right.
So on the same.
Fairly
page.
simple,
Yeah.
easy stuff. But I think that's a pretty easy one that they can do. What else here? Defensemen don't get injured as much.
That is a good
You
one.
know what?
That is an underrated one.
When I was putting mine together, I was like, I should just like put something about not getting injured.
Yeah. Yeah, that's been bad this year,
Yeah.
so stop getting hurt.
There we go.
Here's one from fan Ryder Needham.
Yeah.
Sign for league to a long-term contracts more often.
All right, that's a good one as well. I think we can all agree there.
Yep.
That should be the first move that Chevy makes by the time the New Year hits. Is to
And
get
of course,
Pity.
Pity, classic. Pavlik disappears.
Yeah.
So hopefully we have a magician on the roster.
Not surprised by that.
But he's right on the same lines. as
Could
you
you
do.
imagine if we brought back Pass the Mic and it was just Jacob Trouba and Mark Scheifele in little like magic hats and capes, and they just made Pavlik just a huge troll, just made him disappear. That would be amazing.
That
Just
would
little
be.
glasses and little mustaches and whatnot, and just
That
gone.
would solve everything, though. I mean,
Little
hopefully you can make your
mustaches.
contract disappear as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go.
Honestly, if Pavlik just disappeared, I could deal with his contract sticking around for a little while. Just gone.
But there we go. Thanks for the fans for reaching out.
Yeah, those were
'cause I
good.
needed some help.
There's a little Kim Jong-un on our screen
Oh,
there.
I will show you that later. I learned something this week, that's for sure.
Okay, my final one is for Mark Scheifele. Improve your leg strength.
Yeah.
This will be one until you stop falling down all the
Yep.
time.
Next year, I am doing the fall counter.
Yeah? Okay.
I am. Because
All
I
right.
meant to do it this year, and then he started off well and stopped falling for like the first 2 weeks of the season, so I decided not to. But regardless of how the first few weeks go, I will do
stick it through with the fall counter?
Yes.
All right. Just get stronger on the leg portion.
Yes.
I'm fine with your upper body. Just tree trunks. I want some tree trunk thighs.
Okay.
Just make it happen.
Well, how tall is he? Like, did he have a
He's
big
decently
growth
tall.
spurt recently or something?
I'm not sure.
Like, maybe
to tell
his
you the truth.
mind is still catching up with his limbs.
I think
Maybe.
that isn't that something when you're like 13 years old. It's an excuse.
knows?
I
Some
thought
people-
that
Yeah, but
ended.
isn't he like 14 years old?
He looks like it. Maybe. Okay. Next thing on here. A single New Year's resolution for Kevin Chevel day off.
Mm-hmm.
Jose.
My resolution is pretty simple. Make a player for player trade.
All right.
Just do it.
That's fair.
And you know what? There are deals to be done.
There
And
are
there are
deals to be
good
done.
ones.
They need to do something.
There are
I think
good
I feel
ones.
like it's very easy for him to
Yep.
fulfill that goal.
It's not
this
even
year.
like I'm saying that just to like do it for the sake of doing it. There are deals you can do that'll be good for this team and for, you know, maybe some other teams in the NHL as well. So
just do it.
just do it.
I'm sure I'm along the same lines as you. I actually went to my friend Brett Foster, who does not like this team right now for one specific reason, so this worked out well. He thinks Chevy should just trade part of our core.
Okay.
He thinks we have too many Atlanta players still, so just shake up the core, whether it's Buff, Ladd, Kane, something. Shake it up. Shake it up.
I can see where that's coming from, but I don't think now's the time to do that. If they miss the playoffs, I completely agree. Move one big piece because somebody will want out.
Mhm.
If they move back to forward, then I would agree. Move Buff because
Yes.
he's not going to resign here as a forward, plain and simple. But right now, I don't think you can mess with that too much, just because they are winning and playing well. So
You heard it here, Brett. Wasn't me.
get it together, bro. Okay, mine for Chevy is kind of similar in a way to what Joe had mentioned, but it's more of the signing things.
Mhm.
It was don't lose players of value for nothing.
Yes.
If you can just avoid that this year,
Michael Frolik.
Michael Frolik being a huge one.
Yes.
Don't lose players of value for nothing. And not even just him. Like most of the guys that have their contracts expiring, make a decision on them.
Yeah.
Don't lose players of value for nothing. It's so frustrating to
If
watch.
you're not going to re-sign them, if you're not planning on keeping them, get them to sign a freaking contract and then trade them.
Exactly. Have a plan.
Yes.
Get something done.
Yeah.
Do we have any?
No, that was from Reddit. It's just
Okay.
very simple, very similar to what you just said. Just not losing somebody for nothing.
Yeah, very true.
There was a few other responses on Twitter. That's the exact same thing. So you're not alone there, Trav.
Good. All right. One more Jets related resolution that we'll have, or not really resolution, but the biggest regret the Jets probably have or should have for 2014. I feel like a lot of these are going to be similar, but
Biggest regret, you know, when I was trying to think of it, I was gonna say not giving Hutchinson more starts at the beginning of the season, but then I thought, you know what, Pavelec was playing well and playing better than he had ever in the past. So you know what,
Yeah.
that's not really that much of a regret. And there's honestly not a ton that I can think of that was in their control, directly in their control, that they could have done better. But yeah, I don't know. See, I had one, and then now I'm doubting it.
what is it? Just say it. I'll yell at you if it's bad.
No. No, the biggest regret.
Think of signings.
Yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards. Yeah, it's got to be that Stewart contract.
The Stewart
Yeah,
contract?
I'm gonna go with the Stewart contract.
All right. Fair. I can see where that's coming
Yeah, I think I know what yours is gonna be,
from.
but
Yeah. Neil?
It's funny when Travis, when you texted me immediately, I thought of the helmet party that did not happen.
Oh.
But that was last year. You disappointingly told me.
Yep.
But that immediately, I'm just like, why didn't they do that? God damn it! That would have been amazing. Another one, I went to Twitter for this one, but what was the biggest NHL Jets regret of 2014?
Ooh, I like Riders.
Yeah, Riders not locking up Frolik long term, signing Pavelec
That's
to a
gonna
long
cost
term
him a lot of
contract
money.
2012, letting Zach Redmond go for nothing.
Yes, that's a good one.
And what was the last one down there? Not pushing. Yeah, not pushing for better fourth liners in the past of the season.
Firing Claude Noel, yeah. Sure.
That's not a regret.
No.
All right, fair enough. My biggest regret for the year is the Thorburn signing.
I figured this.
$1.2 million for 3 years.
Yeah.
That is going to bite them square in the ass, especially when you have guys in the World Juniors. I know we didn't talk a lot about the World Juniors this podcast. That's because they've played Slovakia and Denmark. What the hell could be possible?
Slovakia and Germany.
Why did I say Denmark?
I don't know.
Slovakia and Germany. I don't know what else I could possibly say. Comrie looked great. Of course, he's not getting the start against Finland because Canada's dumb.
Ehlers has looked really
Ehlers
good.
has looked good.
Yeah.
Patan's been fantastic. I don't know really what else I could say about most of the guys.
Fantastic.
We have the most prospects on that team, apparently.
Yes, they do. Or not on the team, but as a whole, the Jets have more prospects in the tournament than any other team in the NHL.
Very cool.
Nice work, Chevy.
Yep.
Again, they're just prospects, and the Thorburn signing could likely hinder one of those prospects from actually ever making the jump. So that's where that kind of ties in a little bit. But that, I think, has got to be your biggest regret of 2014 is
Fair enough.
signing Chris Thorburn for 3 years, $1.2 million.
Thorburn. Do you think he'll ever turn on Thorburn like you have on Pavlik?
No. I don't think I've turned necessarily on Pavlik.
You've been really kind to him lately.
Well, it's because he's not playing as much.
You, at the beginning of this episode, you were apologizing to him for being mean.
Okay, well, it's not necessarily an apology to him. It's more of a... It's not that I don't like his personality as much. Obviously, his DUI and stuff like that I don't agree with, but I still think he's a bad goaltender. But it's not that... I don't think him being a bad goaltender is necessarily it's him getting the contract he has and being played all the time is not his fault.
No, it's
he's
not.
He's just a goalie, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And
Well, he's got the nudes, too. So.
oh,
Yeah.
exactly, obviously.
Chevy
Can't forget about the nudes.
That's his biggest regret, 2014 Chevy.
That's Chevy's biggest regret of 2014.
Yeah, the news.
Why did I let those get leaked? Fuck.
But yeah, like it's the same thing. Like, I don't hate Chris Thorburn as a person. I just think he's a useless hockey player, and they shouldn't have given him the contract he did. Like, I don't hate Mark Stewart as a person. I just don't think he should be in the second pairing defenseman. I don't think he's nearly good enough to be there. I think he's a sixth defenseman / press box guy. So, I don't know. Pavlik's played okay so far this year, so I can't consistently bash his numbers like I have in the past. But I also think Hutch has been better, so he should be playing more. Okay, give me one resolution for the NHL as a whole, as a league.
My resolution for the NHL as a whole is to be mump free
Nice.
by the All-Star break. So you still got a while to go. And there's just like 2 new cases that just happened like last week or a couple days ago. I can't remember the names, but there's 2 new guys who have it. So I'm giving you a little bit of time.
Mump-free.
I was gonna say like be mump free by the end of January, but then like there's these 2 new guys, so we'll give him a little bit of time. Let's just get this under control, NHL. All-Star break.
That's fair. Be mum free.
That's a great resolution. That's hard to top. I don't know if this is going to happen this year. I think it's going to come, and I'd love to hear what you guys think. But just for once and for all, get rid of fighting. 100%. None of it. Absolutely none of it. No 5-minute majors. None of that. Just, it does not happen anymore.
I like that, actually. I don't think it's going to happen this year.
No.
I think it's going to happen in 5 or so years. But I think that's a good resolution that they need to get rid of it.
Okay, new resolution. Talk about it. When's the new CBA due?
Like 10 years.
Yeah,
Oh my
they
God,
just happened.
They can still change rules.
Yes, they
before
can.
the
They just need
CBA,
agreements.
so talk about it, guys.
They can talk about it all they want.
Yeah.
I hope they do. I hope it's a topic of interest. I hope it keeps coming. I hope it doesn't take someone dying for them to make that decision.
Oh God.
But yeah, I think it's something that they do have to address. And I think
Just
that's
be
a good resolution.
proactive, NHL. Let's do this.
Okay, I have 3.
Oh Jesus!
And I'm only going to pick one because it's going to take forever. Okay, that one kind of has to do with the fighting thing. I'm going to go with...
We don't know.
Okay, should I be Winnipeg friendly or just league stuff?
League.
League? Okay, figure out this expansion stuff.
Okay, I agree.
Get
it.
something dealt with.
Yeah.
Get something done. Just concrete. Figure this out. Because I love talking about the prospects of what could happen and blah, 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 and new team names and stuff. But I hate just sitting there being like, all right, we all know something's going to happen.
Just make it happen.
Just make it happen.
Yeah.
Stop pretending like it's some big secret.
Yeah.
Just, you don't go on CBC and talk about it unless it's actually
yeah,
going on.
It doesn't go on Hockey Night in Canada.
So just freaking make it happen.
Just do it.
Even at those
tired of it.
conferences,
Yeah.
like
Oh, exactly.
it looks so silly.
Get her
It's so
done.
dumb. Figure out this expansion stuff and let's just move on, please. All right, one resolution for another NHL team outside of the Jets.
My resolution is for the Columbus Blue Jackets. I want them to make the playoffs, even with all the injuries they've had. I saw a chart of like the man hours missed in a bar graph of like, and it was
I love graphs.
It was, I know, they're so good. It was like just to give you a good visual representation of the amount of time. I think it wasn't even for the whole team. It was like your top 6 forwards and your top 4D or whatever that have been missing from your lineup for X amount of games, like whoever had the most. Yep. And Columbus's was like 2 times higher than the next closest team. That's so like dumb. Unbelievable. It's so not even fair. Yeah, it's not. And then, you know what? They've been steadily climbing. I think
the Jets will catch up to that at some point if they keep getting hurt.
Yeah.
But at least
they were close.
And
you know what? I thought they would be closer with all the injuries they've had to the blue line. But honestly, they've been pretty lucky up front with the forward. The forward group has not had any injuries at all. So, I mean, they've been actually pretty lucky. I mean, as much as it sucks to lose all 4 of your top 4D, they've been kind of lucky. They were not even near the near the top of the chart. So.
Yeah. It's just that all theirs happened at once.
Yeah, right? It was unfortunate timing, but as far as luck goes, like, they are doing okay.
Oh, they are. They are.
Yeah.
If you could take, like, all combined guys that could get hurt and only lose 4,
yeah.
For the most cases, you would take that. You wouldn't expect them all to be your top 4D.
Yeah.
But...
yeah, no, they're not doing too bad.
As a whole.
Yeah.
All right, Neil, another NHL team.
Mine is, it kind of ties in with what I learned this week, but mine is for the Dallas Stars and their in-house arena media team. Is to keep pushing the issue as far as their
pushing the boundaries.
Yes, pushing the boundaries because I want them to get to a point where this becomes like a big thing, and they almost cross the line with something. Because like some of them are so funny and they're so clever, but I want them to just keep pushing the boundaries. See how far you can go with some of these things.
Well, because I love it. It's interesting because I want to watch and see what happens with that kind of stuff. Because remember when the LA Kings Twitter account was the kind of like that first one to go out there and start chirping teams and really become something cool, and now you see it more and more often. Like teams will chirp like GIFs back and forth, and a lot of teams, the Jets are inching towards being somewhat
they get a couple funny ones every now and then,
but for the most part, like the Blue Jackets are great now. The Oilers, as bad as their team is, their Twitter account can actually be pretty funny sometimes. The Sharks it's the Sharks, no, the Shark, that's their SB Nation account. But there are more teams that are actually more enjoyable in that. I'd like to see if the Stars having that in-arena host that's getting them postered everywhere start doing that with more and more teams where you start seeing a bit more of that, where they start chirping back and forth. Again, something the Jets probably never end up doing.
Their video board, or whatever you want to call that thing in the middle there, that's Jumbotron, the Jumbotron. It has to be like the most photographed Jumbotron in the past few months. Sure. Like it's all over social media. Every game people are taking pictures of it.
It's so good. That's a great point though, Travis, because it will catch on, and having team Twitter accounts beak each other is amazing for the fans.
Well, do you remember, I don't know how much you guys remember this, when we were younger, you used to be able to go to hockey games and there would just be like straight up, this team sucks, put all over they used to go at each other with the Jumbotrons and used to create like this environment in the building. And do you remember when back in the old Moose games, you used to have like the Godzilla and whatever, and they just do the stupid arm movements and say like, go Moose, go, whatever, and just create this crazy thing, and they'd show like just taking down the opponents and stuff like that. They never do that anymore. It's like they got like, oh, we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
Everyone's a little more sensitive.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. But now you start seeing it where a team's starting to finally poke and just be like,
push those boundaries.
You guys suck.
Do it.
Like,
let's do it.
I miss that. That used to be so much fun when you go to games, especially for kids. Like, it's no longer just this stupid little, blah, 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 blah. We are so happy to be in the NHL. Like, be fun with it. Go after each other. Create rivalries.
Exactly.
Make each other hate each other. Like, that's why I love the KHL, because they hate each other, even though they're all folding, and but still, it was fun. Okay, my resolution for another NHL team is obviously the Leafs. Break up the top line. Bozak, JVR, and Kessel are terrible possession-wise. They get scored on more than they score goals. They just need to break up that top line. Rearrange it. They did it for like one shift. Put Kadri up there or something. Just break it up, because it's not working. Yeah, they score a lot of goals, but when they don't score a lot of goals, they don't do much. So break it up. Do your job, Randy Carlyle. Shuffle things. Be a coach. What a novel concept.
Yeah.
That'll do it for our resolutions, though.
Okay.
Hey, Joe.
Yes.
I think you've got a great team to talk about, don't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Joe's Great Team of the Week.
So, great team of the week for this week goes to the New York Rangers. They've won 8 straight, starting on December 8th, going until yesterday. I think they played yesterday. Rick Nash, 23 goals already.
Remember when he was the worst?
Yes, that was not long ago. Remember when he was awesome in Columbus? And everybody was like, oh man, Rick Nash, too bad he'll never get a shot at the playoffs. And then he left Columbus, and then they immediately made the playoffs. And then he was terrible.
Yeah.
But now he's just killing it. It just to give you an idea of how much he's ripping it up. He has 23 goals. Next closest is Martin St. Louis with 11.
So he is the New York
He is the New York Rangers. So that's why I'm making a mention here. Great team of the week goes to the New York Rangers, but he is the New York Rangers.
So great team of the week
is Rick Nash. Exactly. That's the roundabout way of it. So yeah, congratulations, New York Rangers. That's both teams from New York already that have made great team of the week.
All right.
So you're doing well, New York.
Way to go.
Yep.
You guys are just great.
Keep it up.
I hope the Islanders just aren't that great on New Year's Eve.
Yes.
Although I'm so excited to watch Grabowski.
Me too. I'm so pumped, man.
If there was a team to watch.
Yeah, and it'll
then
be
I
good.
get to go to a Leaf game after
what's
that,
his
too.
face's homecoming there? The defenseman Travis Hamonic. He's from St. Malo, so.
Is he from St. Malo?
Yeah.
Huh. Oh yeah, 'cause he moved to Winnipeg. Yeah. All right, yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch them. Besides Joe's great team of the week, we learned things this week.
Mm-hmm.
Let's share.
Sure.
Let's share.
So what I learned this week is that Gustav Nyquist of the Detroit Red Wings need not pass the puck to score a magical goal. In the game against Ottawa,
It's not like Datsuk was enough, right?
No, you gotta have Nyquist there as well. This earned him a pickup on my fantasy team. He picked up the puck in overtime against the Senators yesterday.
Yeah, it was last night.
And he proceeded to circle the zone 3 times without ever releasing the puck, and then walk in, shoot, and score the game winner.
I'm trying to get this video up. It's amazing. Like I forget we've showed a few goals on the podcast, and this might be my favorite one I've ever seen.
It's just unreal.
That Ellis one was still my favorite.
Yeah,
that they only got didn't even hit the top 10 of plays of the year.
It's weak.
And there was another goal there. And I was like, this is not good.
After it as Ottawa surrenders the puck to Detroit. Nyquist.
Here's the first circle of the entire ice.
Nyquist forced on his backhand the whole way by MacArthur.
Couple cross checks.
And now back again.
Still circling.
Gonna get dizzy.
Now go on to his
turn around. Picked up.
Again for Gus Nyquist.
Still circling.
It's been over 14 seconds now.
All Nyquist on this ship. Keep on going. Nyquist has it. Nyquist shooting. Score! Game winner. What a ship. Gus Nyquist 3-2 Detroit. They win it.
Like, I don't know much about hockey, but how embarrassing is that for a defense?
Right there, Ken. A beautiful
that shouldn't happen, I feel.
Shielding the puck away.
I don't know if that's really necessarily that bad on Ottawa as much as it's just that was amazing by
I'm
Nyquist.
surprised he's not exhausted and was still able to shoot that puck.
I'm not sure the Ottawa Senators could play us any better as well. MacArthur doing a great job. On
He's playing him very well. He's keeping him on the outside. He's not getting any room.
He never really
let him. Tries to take a shot, can't take a shot there. Tries to go the other way.
He never really let him get around him.
They switch checks.
Showing the strength again against Cowan.
Cowan's got him. They switch. Oh, they should have switched there. He gets a little bit of space, walks in, and just has a nice shot. Like, I don't know how you can beat that.
I don't know. That was just unreal.
That was impressive.
Just ridiculous.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm glad that happened.
Yeah, watch that if you're
to
not.
say the least.
If you haven't watched it on YouTube through us, watch it on YouTube just yourself.
Yeah,
because it's amazing.
Absolutely amazing.
All right, Neil, what did you learn this week?
I going back to kind of what I've been talking about, but I learned that the Dallas Stars in-house arena team is amazing. I don't know, you guys aren't big gamers, but there's been some massive hacks on Xbox and Sony, and you know the whole interview thing with North Korea. The internet's a crazy place right now, and the Dallas Stars took advantage, and North Korea's internet went down for like an entire day, and they posted this on their Jumbotron. It's a picture of Kim Jong-un on a horse. It says, naughty, don't worry. They'll never see They'll never see this. The internet is down. Happy holidays.
The little Santa picture in the bottom.
So
my
funny.
God.
And somebody, the top comment on Reddit for North Korea losing their internet was, "Oh, did they forget the password for South Korea?"
Yeah.
Wi-Fi.
South Korea's Wi-Fi.
It was super funny. But
I would just like to point out that the Leafs are currently beating the Stars in this picture 3-0.
Yes, of course.
of course.
point that.
God damn it, Travis.
Nobody cares.
All right, I learned a couple things this week because I can never stick to just one thing.
No.
Let's do the short one first. The short one is the Chicago Blackhawks. Zemgus Girgensons, Joe and I's favorite friend.
Yes.
Joe and I's favorite friend.
Love
Or
Zemgus.
hockey player.
Love
Or
me
name,
some
whatever you want to
Zemgus.
say. Is currently destroying the All-Star ballots. He is like
Excellent.
getting all of Latvia pretty much is voting for this guy.
That's awesome.
It is amazing. I'm so happy this is happening. But the Chicago Blackhawks decided to retaliate. The first thing we're going to hear here is an advertisement that plays because it's off of the Chicago Blackhawks
We're
website.
not getting paid for it.
Yeah.
But
Shop online.
Joe saw this and he's like, is this a stupid cheesy car commercial?
Wait, here it comes. Slap shot.
Slap shot through the window because always.
Obviously.
Okay, here it is. Their attempt to get Johnny Taves more votes. Those shorts are so small.
Find the Blackhawk you want to promote and exercise your right to vote.
Kane on the elliptical at the end is my favorite.
absolutely amazing.
No, my favorite part is when they have the Johnny Taves scored a goal in one of the clips, and it's like a mirrored image, and he goes into a huge classic Johnny Taves fist pump, and as the two fists come together in the middle of the screen,
explosion.
there's just like a nuke going off in
Yeah.
between them. It's so good.
It is.
Man, if you ever needed a reason to watch our show on YouTube, that's it.
This is the
My
episode to watch.
goodness.
So much visual content.
Wow.
I loved that video. I saw it and I almost cried laughing.
Yeah,
It's
that's
so
perfect.
good. One other video. This is a long one. It's 5 minutes long. It's pretty much all I'm going to say here is yeah, exactly. It's 5 minutes long. We're just going to let it play. I'm sure you've probably seen the video. If you haven't seen the video, get on to YouTube and watch us or watch it. If you haven't seen the video and don't want to listen to it again or don't want to watch again, you can just hit the little 15-second scroll thing on your phone a few times because it's 5 minutes long, and we're just going to let it play. This is just why you should love PK Subban. Go ahead, Neil.
Uniform. Although today my uniform is a bit different. For the holidays, we decided to surprise a group of very deserving
This
kids
is PK Subban
with
talking
the
about it.
ultimate hockey holiday experience. They'll be boarding a bus without a clue of what's in store for them. I have a feeling they'll be quite surprised.
You ready to go? Where do you need me? This is kind of cool. I've never done anything like this before. Alex has asked me to do the impossible today and not speak at all. So you know how hard that's going to be for me?
I love PK.
Yeah, he's great.
I wish he didn't play for the Habs.
I listen to Tim and Sid all the time, and they have him on once in a while. He's a great interview. I feel like he's a pretty good ambassador for
It's
the
like a dream
NHL.
come
He
true,
is.
being able to screw
He's a
people
guy who
like
just
this.
loves
Awesome.
being rich and famous
Hey,
and does it
don't be watching what I'm
amazingly.
catching, man.
Right, yeah.
He's always doing
My
stuff
sister
like
goes back
this.
to the tour to do not drive the bus. I'm going to pretend to be like a security guard, and then at some point I'm going to reveal myself to these kids, and hopefully it's a big
I hate that he phrased
surprise
it like
and
that.
an early Christmas.
Oh, Travis.
Terrible.
Here we go!
So these kids don't know.
They have no idea. They just know that
We're on a
they're
bus.
doing something.
Well,
But
they
You guys
passed
don't
them.
even
Yeah.
know where we're going.
So PK.
PK's on the bus with
Yeah.
us.
Special surprise.
PK's dressed
We're
as an
gonna
old
go
bus
to the
driver with a.
Montreal Canadiens
fake beard on.
training facility.
Yeah, so they just told them where they're going. They're going to the training
Yeah,
facility.
yeah.
I'm smiling so hard.
PK's just chilling.
Well produced video. Sweet.
They all just keep walking right by me.
No, they have no idea.
Yeah, these kids are in for a good one.
Well, I work here. My office is upstairs, so there's a tournament. I know today's the Canadians' day off, but hopefully we'll get a chance to see them skate tomorrow. Did you guys say Carl too?
That's his sister. She asks them, "Did you see him?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, thanks, bye." They look right on. They're like, "Bye." So the kids are touring the facility at this point. Which, honestly, as a kid, that'd still be so cool.
Yeah, no doubt.
They go into the locker room, and every kid's got equipment, jersey, a PK Subban jersey, sticks.
I really wasn't expecting it. Just like, thank all of you for
Like, it's all named to them.
How do these kids get chosen?
I'm not sure. Now they're on the ice playing, and PK's just sitting there.
Lieutenant, you should bring everybody in for some water. Oh man, you guys are fine.
As if they don't know.
Can I come out and skate? Natasha, I'm gonna come out for a skate.
They realize it.
Come out for a skate.
That's awesome.
And they all just lose it.
How about we do everybody versus me? You guys gotta stop me. If you can get the puck outside of the red line, that's a point for you guys. You gotta work together. Because I'm not gonna hold back.
He's just lighting these kids up. That's what I love about it too. He's just lighting them up.
Oh yeah, he's got no chill.
No chill.
Just dangling around them. They're just falling.
Come on, CJ, nice pass.
Not even using a
trips them.
Oh boy. You guys are good.
I'm gonna take this to the change room.
This is the dressing room.
Yeah, at the ball center, it's a lot closer.
I was really surprised when I found out it was PK Subban. When I saw him up close, I said, "Huh, he looks familiar from something." I go, "No, there's no way." And he goes, "Canapple," and he takes off his wig and all his beard, and I was just like,
Canapple.
Canapple.
"It's a me! It's a me! Oh my God, it's him!"
It's great, man. It's been
even
a
more
great morning,
presents.
and it's fitting that it's on a Sunday morning as well. You know, it's a blessing to be able to do things like this for kids, and I hope they enjoyed it.
Wow, lucky kids. Very cool of PK to do that as well.
I love PK Subban. Like, you can't not love the guy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I don't know, like, as much as I say, "Oh, Evander Kane's awesome, I love him," stuff like that, I love that PK does that.
Oh, this is next level.
And I feel like if Evander ever did something like that, thoughts of him would change instantly.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he doesn't, because I don't know what the guy does in his spare time, but, like, PK's just kind of that. Remember when everybody used to be like, "Oh, PK's too flamboyant,
man.
he's too this, blah, blah,
So
blah."
much hate on PK.
Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah, I know.
It's hard not to love that guy. And it annoys me because he's a Montreal Canadian.
Yep. For too long.
Yeah.
And for the future.
Exactly.
So depressing.
But yeah, he just seems like a guy that, like, he loves that he's a millionaire.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm going to share this with as many people as I
Yeah,
can
exactly.
and just have so much fun with it and surprise the hell out of kids and go nuts.
Yeah, well, he realizes the opportunity he has
Yeah.
as a professional athlete, you know, which is very cool. Professional sports need guys like that.
Yeah. He's got to be the Habs' next captain.
Yeah.
Like, hands down.
Yeah.
That alone
He's
sells
not?
it to me.
No,
they have 4 assistants right now. Or alternates, sorry.
Oh, what are they, the New Jersey Devils coaching staff?
Yeah. Damn.
Pick one.
Oh.
Yeah, bird.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. Let's spell some things and get out of here.
Okay, spelling bee time.
SPELLINGB. Gotta remember I before E, except after C. Da, 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 da. It's the spelling bee.
Alright. So, we didn't really talk much about World Juniors or anything, but always at this time of year I have to do a World Junior inspired spelling bee one. And this is always fun because there's so many guys that we've never heard of before. Nobody knows any of them. And obviously I'm not going to choose one that anyone's ever heard of. So, I'm gonna give you a fighting chance. Did you watch the Canada-Germany game?
A bit. I was watching the Jets game. But...
Okay, well then you're screwed.
Oh crap.
I'm gonna pick a guy from who I think has one of the better names on Team Germany. His name is Marcus, which is pretty easy.
Not bad. Good
Eisenschmied.
Okay. AKA you're fucked.
Marcus Eisenschmied.
Oh, that's just Eisenschmied. Oh my god. Marcus is probably spelled fucked up.
Eisenschmied?
Eisenschmied.
God damn.
Schmied. All right.
What do you got?
Marcus, Markus.
Okay.
Eisenschmied, Izensh. Give me an SCH actually.
Okay, SCH. Okay.
Meide.
Wow.
Eisenschmied.
That's hardcore. Okay.
Marcus Eisenschmied.
We don't know.
No, not even a little.
No, we don't.
Okay, I was gonna go with Marcus, but I like Neil's Markus.
It's gotta be.
I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, it's Germany. It's gotta be the K.
Okay.
Eisenschmied.
Mm-hmm.
Isen. SCH. Meede.
Okay. Yeah, you're both not even right at all.
We're idiots.
You're both wrong on Marcus. It's a C.
Ah, we tried to get fancy.
Yeah, exactly. You overthought it. Marcus, Marcus. Eisenschmied. Eisen.
Whoa, hold on. Marcus, okay, go ahead.
Eisenschmied. Eisenschmied.
Wow.
That's so dumb.
Wow.
Get a new name.
Every time Travis gets one wrong, he tells him to get a new name.
Eisenschmied.
Fun fact about our friend Marcus. He had 23 points in 56 games with the Medicine Hat Tigers last year, which is just brutal. This year, he already has 18 points in 16 games.
All right, is he
So
drafted?
stepping his game up.
eligible?
No, I don't think he. I think he's draft eligible this year. He hasn't been drafted yet. Yeah, so he is almost already past his his point total in less than 20 games. So he's taking some steps. So congrats, Marcus.
Attaboy, Eisenschmied.
No doubt.
Speaking of Eisen somethings,
Eisen
yesterday I had family over for Christmas. Obviously, I realized that my uncle looks exactly like Heisenberg.
Oh,
Like
wow.
exactly like him. If he had the glasses
Like the
and the hat,
goatee and the-
yeah,
wow.
like exactly like him. I was blown away. My other uncle mentioned it, and I was like, "Oh my god, how did I not see that before?"
I knew I recognized you from somewhere.
I think Heisenberg's my favorite lookalike now. Like, I notice it in public. I'm just like, oh my god, bald guy with goatee. Like, that's Heisenberg.
Yeah,
right
it's insane. I was like, "Whoa, don't murder me." It was crazy. But yeah, that's all we've got for this week. Let's get the music. Yeah.
Let's
Skip
skip there a little
Just
bit.
happened there.
Remix.
We
What?
actually have it playing on a record on a turntable, so
Yeah.
it'll skip every now and then.
Yeah, like I said, Joe and I are going to the Jets game on New Year's Eve, so if you are also going and listen to this podcast before then,
hit us up.
Let us know. I don't think we know where we're sitting yet.
Yeah, but we'll come visit you, though.
But yeah, come tweet us where you are, and maybe we'll come say hi, and we'll talk about the game or something like that. I don't know, maybe depending on what time Joe gets there, see beforehand, get some beers.
Yep.
Yeah,
bring
maybe we'll bring
stickers.
Oh, yeah, I'll bring.
Go get stickers from them.
See if I can bring some stickers. I'm also going to be at the Leaf game on the 3rd, which, before we record again. But I will be repping the Leafs, obviously, in that game. So
If you want to throw stuff at Travis while he's wearing his Leaf jersey.
don't hit my girlfriend. She'll be really pissed. I'm trying to force her to wear a Leaf jersey, but she's putting up a strong stance
I really
against
don't
that.
think that's going to happen.
So we'll see. If you want to get a hold of us or tweet us at all, #JetStream @JetStreamPod. Check out the website, www.jetstreampodcast.com. That's got links to our Twitter feed, as well as our email address, which is jetstreampodcast@gmail.com. Check us out at Max Sports Channels. You can get hold of me on Twitter at THRUBENIUK. Joe's on Twitter at JW_Clark20. Neil's on Twitter at Neil Noonan, NeilNoonan. Subscribe and rate us on iTunes. The ratings are awesome. Subscriptions are awesome. We're on under the professional bracket now instead of amateurs, so we're
not getting grouped in with the triathlon podcasts anymore.
No longer. When Neil was showing me where we are, we were like right by a legal curb, so you can just bypass those fools.
Yeah, forget about them.
Just get us, because we're awesome.
They're sponsored, so they have to say stuff.
Yeah,
so.
they make money.
Yeah, they have to say stuff.
We do this out of the goodness of our hearts.
Yeah, so we get to say whatever
we're
we want.
the podcast for the people.
We get to say whatever we want, so
yeah, we can swear.
Yep.
iTunes put us in the What's Hot category though this week. Yeah, so which was very cool to see. I once in a while scroll past there just to check it out, and this is the first time we were there. So
we're hot. We're hot.
Thanks for everybody for subscribing, listening, rating.
Nope.
Yeah, check out arcticguyshockey.com as well. We'll have a post for the podcast there, along with all the links of where you can listen to us, including SoundCloud, YouTube. All the links are there. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you have a safe New Year, an enjoyable New Year. Don't be idiots. Drink a lot of alcohol, and then find a way home. That was just a nice little head bob to the beat there, Joe. That was fantastic. Yeah, you know what would also be really cool? I don't know how realistic this is, but if you guys are out playing hockey somewhere on the rink and need more people to come and chill, send us a tweet.
Yeah, hey, we'll come down. Come down for some shinny.
Exactly. The gym that Joe and I go to is closed until the new year.
Yeah.
So I've got nothing. I'm off all week. So if you're in the middle of the day and playing some hockey, let me know.
I still have to work, so.
Yeah, poor Joe.
Oh, well.
Evenings though. Evenings.
Yeah, if it's in the evening, there you go. Cold never stopped us.
That's true. We usually deal with it. Get a few beers.
Exactly.
All right, well, I think that's about it for us this week. Thank you guys for listening. Enjoy the rest of the week of hockey. I'm going to go watch the Packers clinch the division by beating the Detroit Lions to a pulp, I hope. So, yeah, have a great week, everybody. Happy New Year. See you later.
Go Jets, go.
Yeah, go Jets, go.